Avoiding what's burning, walking the safer path. And the wheels, they just keep on turning. Why don't we feel it embracing us? There was a time when magic opened up our eyes. We struggle jaded in the cold every day. Why is it so hard to let love unfold and stay? Humming the same song, never writing the words. And our wheels, they keep on turning. Why don't we feel it embracing us? There was a time when magic opened up our eyes. Why don't we feel it embracing us? There was a time when magic opened up our eyes. Living on the far side of town, sharing a dream with anyone. She's made it through heaven, she's made it through hell. It's just another story to tell. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen? heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phones, BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Thursday night edition of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood. It is episode 212. 212. And today, it is April 18th, 2024. Thank you so much for being here. Wow. All right. Hey, what are we going to do tonight? Well, tonight, here with episode 212, we're going to talk in just a few minutes. We're not going to talk. I already talked in my recorded interview with Jesse, captain of the Ohio Villains, talking about Beardo de Mayo coming up in just over 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow. So, but I wanted to get that interview out. I want to try and do a better job about doing interviews specific to when there's an event coming up. I'm trying to do that so that I can do that about 2 weeks out rather than the week of, so that people have a chance to listen to it. If there's anything that's fun or pertinent or any information like that, that they're hearing about it before the event, not as they're driving to said event. That's the hope anyway. That's the hope. But you know what they say about best laid plans, right? Oh, man. It was a beautiful day today here. Just a light breeze, a little bit of coolness, some sunshine, a little bit of cloudiness. And this time of year, man, I think it puts you in a good mood. Well, it does for me. I mean, I'm always in a good mood anyway. But this time of year, it's awesome. Just stuff coming back to life after that dead winter that we have every time around. And but I will say the thing that kind of puts me off a little bit is that I wish there was some way to do the old Doctor Strange thing where we could just turn a dial. We could create a dial and turn a dial and slow things down a little bit. This time of year, and I don't know about everybody else, but this time of year, it seems like this last half of April into the first half of May, that kind of a 4-week window. Boy, if you don't watch it, if you're not careful, it's like everything comes to life so quickly. And I'm talking about grass. I'm talking about weeds. I'm talking about all of this stuff around your house if you own property that has a yard in it. And it's like, you go from 1 week, you go from bad weather, it's cold and nothing's really growing yet, to you turn your head and all of a sudden everything in your yard has just turned into weeds and grown. And you've got to be careful. I know I do. This time of year, I say it every year to myself, I got to get outside. And then you run out of time. And the next thing you know, a bunch of weeds and a bunch of stuff is taken over this certain areas of your yard. And then it just feels like it's just a exercise in futility sometimes. So trying to stay on top of that this year, trying to keep my eyes out. But the thing this year for me, and I know you guys love hearing about this kind of stuff. For me this year, it's a matter of, I have projects around the house and landscaping things and a deck to finish building and all of the stuff. And if I'm not careful, the weeds and all that stuff is going to come permeate all the areas that I'm going to be trying to work on over the next few weeks. And since I went back to work full time earlier this year, I don't have all of the afternoons that I used to have. And so it's I don't know. It's a measured thing. You have to, I'm back when I used to be working all the time. And you realize very quickly, as I've been out of it now for, being a stay-at-home dad for over 6 years, it was I get used to that lifestyle and having all the free time to be able to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and it's not there anymore. And now you have a couple of hours maybe after work one evening, and that's if the weather's nice, and then you have the weekend, but you have weekend plans, and so yeah, I know it's a struggle. Everybody has these struggles, right? And I know. What am I saying that anybody else isn't? But hey, what are we gonna do? We just make do. We just make do. And yeah, so I want to say hi to everybody that is here in the comments section, hanging out with us tonight, and here with us live on YouTube. And our speaker tonight, who we're going to be interviewing, look at that. There's Jesse right there. Yo, he says, "What's up, Jesse?" Uh, Lexi is hanging out with us. Looks like today too. Love to see it. Hey, how you doing, Lexi? Mad girl with tattoos and fandoms. What a great name. What a great name for your YouTube channel or your YouTube identity. She says, hey, also. Rob is hanging out with us as well. He was apparently debating whether or not to try and get me to hurry up so we could get the show on the road. And he followed it up with the good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Good morning to you, good sir. It is probably about 2 a.m. over there in England. Andy, how you doing? Good to see you here. He's hanging out with us as well. Buddy's hanging out as well. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And we're scrolling on down through the rest of our guys. We got Mike in the house as well, giving us a high five wave. Good to see you here, Mike. We got Papa in the house. Papa, I enjoyed your exploits as you and Radar and the ladies took to the town of Chicago and shared all sorts of pictures and exploits that you had fun with last weekend. That looked like a blast, and sadly, it's something that I will never be able to get my better half to do, for sure. But it would be cool to do. I just have some explaining to do. Dave, how you doing, Mr. Ramsey, sir? Good to see you here as well. And yeah, so I don't know. Hey, I'm talking about yard work, right? Jesse says I have 30 bags of mulch sitting in my driveway waiting on me. Yeah. You know what's funny is on the side of my house, I've got like 10 bags of mulch that I never even used last year. And as a matter of fact, it might even be from 2 years ago. Yeah. When stuff gets away from you and then you just forget about it and it's like out of sight, out of mind. And yeah, I mean, it's not even mulchable mulch anymore. It's like trash. So I've got to throw that out, but it's something I'm gonna have to do. Rob, how you doing? Good to see you hanging out with us as well. And yeah, so I'm actually thinking about doing some landscaping in a certain area. I came to the conclusion several years ago when we had a trampoline here at the house for the kids, and underneath the trampoline area we had pea gravel, and I absolutely hated that pea gravel stuff because I just didn't like it. You know, some people love it, and the sad thing is that I've got an area that I'm going to be landscaping where I'm going to have a little seating area, and I don't want to do mulch in an area where people are going to be walking around in, because that always looks kind of crappy and it's not the easiest or most comfortable stuff to walk on. But sadly, pea gravel can be if you're in shoes or in sandals, so I may have to revert back to using pea gravel again in this one little area that I'm going to be doing this year. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still trying to convince myself that it's something I can do. We'll see. Raymond 636 is hanging out with us as well. All right. Good to see you guys here. Appreciate all you being here. Well, as I mentioned in the comment section here tonight, I don't really, it seems like in the land of BV, things have settled down a little bit. Tempers have calmed, and people are talking, and I love to see that. There's all sorts of, happiness and good feelings and all sorts of stuff going on. People looking with positivity, I think, in a lot of different ways. So we'll see how things go in the coming days and weeks. But I don't need to rehash anything and get into other sorts of stuff that we've been talking about here on the show for the last couple of weeks, because I think what I could say has been said, and we'll just wait and see how things go. Just the only thing I will say is just stay positive and just keep chugging along, and work for that community, work for your family, work for the brotherhood, and all good things will turn out for sure. Rob says pea, gravel, and glue. I've never thought of that. Rob, you're gonna have to send me a message, send me a direct message on what you're talking about there, if that's sarcastic or if you have a specific plan of attack there that you would use for that. Because I'm open to options for sure. I can't use concrete though. That's where the area that I'm talking about doing, I can't use concrete. So that's why anything that's like permanent can't be used, but we'll see. Talking landscaping again. Hey, is this going to be the topic of the night? Papa says, I just bought an attachment edger for my Milwaukee tool. For your Milwaukee tool? He's talking about his tool. Yes, his Milwaukee tool. Not his Chicago tool, his Milwaukee tool. All right. All right, guys. Yeah, so lots to digest there. This, as I said, we're going to talk in just a few minutes with Jesse from Bearded Villains from Ohio, the Heartland Villains, the Ohio Villains. They have many, many different names. They've been around for 9 years. One of the first chapters in the States. Well, technically, I guess that would be one of the first chapters, period. So been around for a bit. Lots of stuff has happened over the years, and Jesse's got that. That chapter's going really well right now, and it's good to see. So we'll be talking to him in just a few minutes. I have to say a little bit of an apology to many of the chapters. Well, not many. Well, any chapters that in the last week have done some really cool stuff on in the charity world, because I got so busy doing some other things, I didn't get a chance to prepare my Villains Around the World segment for this week. So I do apologize. And, for me, I think I deserve getting the Price is Right fail button for that. Yeah, I deserve that. And so I apologize. But what I'm going to do is we're going to try and double up next week. And we'll mention, because I know we had brothers over in Wales doing some big walking or climbing or hiking or whatever you call it up a big old landmass. And I wanted to give a shout out to those boys. I know the boys our brothers down in Central Indiana, the Bearded Villains Indiana chapter, they participated in a walk and raised some good amount of money for the MS walk this year. And we've got chapters out there doing some stuff. We've got chapters doing some homeless shelter stuff, some soup kitchen stuff. We've got different things going on. I did see it, and I was unable, I apologize, to prepare for this week. So I will make sure that we do give shout outs next week, and we'll add to it anybody else that's got some stuff going on. If that brings me to the point, if for some reason I'm missing stuff, let me know. If your chapter's got something cool going on, you're doing some cool charity works, doesn't matter if it's super small, I don't care. I want to give a shout out to you. Let people know what you're up to. Let people know what you're about. If you also have any new merch items that are coming out or anything that you're doing specific for charity in that way, please let me know, and I will share that as well. We got to get the word out for everybody. And on that note, I've got a merch item. I just have the one merch item tonight because most of the other merch items that I had mentioned before, I'd gone several weeks with mentioning them, and or they've expired, the sales expired, the pre-sale expired, or all the good stuff. But I do have one tonight, and of course I have to, I have to give a shout out, right? Because it's my chapter. It's my chapter. That's right. Bearded Villains, Northern Indiana. We are restocked. We did have these pins. It's our BVNI crossed scythes. It's our crossed scythes pin. And this thing it's bigger than you'd think. It's like 1 3/4 inches, but it looks beautiful on a collar. It looks beautiful on a hat. And this is a polished silver metal pin for $12. We only had, in our first initial order, we only had I think it was less than 50 available to the public. And we sold out of those very quickly. And within 24 hours, when we put them up on our store page, several months ago. And so we have back in stock now. They are available at bvnorthernindiana.org, bvnorthernindiana.org. While you're there, check out the big red Ezra patch that's in there as well, or some other stuff we've got in the store. bvnorthernindiana.org. And this pin will probably sell out again. Probably not as quickly because it won't be in the next 24 hours, because I know we prepared a little bit more for it this time. But very, very cool. People love it. I'm buying a few of them extra for myself to have. So anyway, out there, $12, restocked. People have been asking, and now you know they're here. All right. So that's the merch. Let's see. Go down my list here. Merch, got it. We don't have Villains Around the World tonight because of my failure. So what do you say we just go right into talking with Jesse, huh? Yeah, let's do that. So coming up, and I think I mentioned this in the intro, but just in case I don't, I can't remember sometimes when I record these interviews. Coming up May 4th is Beardo de Mayo. Beardo de Mayo. An awesome time, really great fun time, and hosted by the Ohio Villains. And we're going to learn a little bit about what's to expect, what's going on, so you can better prepare to come to Beardo de Mayo if you would like. And I think you should. So here is my interview with Jesse from the Ohio Villains, talking Beardo de Mayo in Ohio. Hey, coming up in just over 2 weeks on May 4th, it's Beardo de Mayo, the return of Beardo de Mayo 2024 over in Ohio. I always love that rhyme. Beardo de Mayo in Ohio. Coming up in just over 2 weeks, we're going to talk with the captain of the Heartland Originals, the Heartland Villains, the Ohio Villains. You say it many different ways that all means the same thing. Just good brothers. Jesse is here today to talk to us about what's going to be going on in a couple of weeks with Beardo de Mayo. Jesse, how you doing today?
Pretty good, my brother. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm excited because I get to come this year. I wasn't able to make it last year, and I'm ready to. I heard it was a really fun time last year, and I'm ready to come and enjoy. So looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to having you come, man.
Yeah. That's all. Okay, interview done. No, I know that this year. I know that this year you guys in Ohio celebrated 9 years of a chapter already.
9 years. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah. What's that been like for you guys?
Because well, personally for me, I feel old because I've been part of the chapter since 2016. I know a lot of the guys have been here since 2016, 2017. And it's been a wild ride. We're loving every minute of it, every bit of it. I mean, we love where we're at, chapter wise. So we love where we stand at. We love what we're doing. And I've said this, a million times. Our chapter is more of a family than it is a brotherhood. I mean, you have the Bearded Villains, which is the brotherhood, but then you have the Ohio chapter, which is the family, and that's how we treat it.
Yeah. You guys, it's a close bunch, and I know exactly what that feels like from up here with us. But you've only now. Let's just take a step back here. You've been captain now since when?
For 2 years. It'll be 2 years in June.
And boy, I remember when you took over, man, you took the ball and started running right away, and have just not looked back. It's been fun to watch from afar, man.
Well, thank you. I mean, the major obstacle that we had to go over when the new leadership took over was, trying to finish up where the old leadership left off and getting our 501(c), and we got that squared away. So ever since then, it's been full sprint.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been fun to watch, and a lot of people don't realize. Well, I think anybody that's been through that process realizes exactly what that is and what that entails, and it's not a very easy. Well, I guess it shouldn't be an easy thing to become a nonprofit, but still, it's for a bunch of guys that aren't lawyers and everything else to get through that paperwork
Yeah.
mess and to get all that stuff set up. But what's really neat is it allows you to do some really cool things in your community.
That is correct. I mean, that gives us the opportunity that we're able to, partner up with other 501(c)(3)s within the state, and like doing this Beardo de Mayo event and partnering up with the chosen charity we partnered up with this year, Adopt a Pit, and last year we were trying to maintain the pet rescue. Last year was Speak for the Unspoken. It's been great. It's the whole Adopt a Pet, helping pets medically. We feel that is really big on our heart. So
Yeah, exactly. What's it been like? I mean, just kind of take us back a little bit. What all have you guys been up to? Just say like in the last year or so.
So we have our three staple charity things that we do. Besides the smaller stuff, but we have Beardo de Mayo. We have the Making Strides Walk for a Cure. We do that in Cleveland, and then we do the toy drive, which we collect toys and donations during Christmas. And I want to thank your co-captain Ed for coming down and helping out with that. And then those are donated to the local VFW and to the Westerville fire station. So it's a great time doing that. We do that in December in Columbus.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, you're one of the, and I'm just saying this off the top of my head because I don't have actual figures in front of me, but seems like of all the states, or of all the chapters here in the States, and then the states that have Bearded Villains chapters, here in the States, you guys are one of the handful that still remains where it's one chapter covering the entire state.
Yes.
There's a lot of states
Yes.
that have 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 chapters now, and so I mean, I was once a part of BVIN, which was the singular chapter here in the state of Indiana, and I know what that was like when you're covering and you're trying to decide, boy, do we feel like we're neglecting this area over here or this area over here? We want to partner up with so many different cool charity things. What do you guys use to make those decisions? Because like I said, it's not an easy decision to try and figure out what you want to do for a year and partner up with so many, worthwhile endeavors that are out there.
So, and one of the things that I know our leadership we came to the conclusion was, when we took over, is giving the chapter back to the members. So what that means is, if you have guys in Southern Ohio, for instance, they actually plan and come up with their own charity events. We had a guy named Jeremy and a couple other guys actually get together and raise funds and food for a local food pantry down there. We have the guys up in Cleveland. They have their little group and they plan their own charity events and stuff like that. Especially with the Making Strides breast cancer walk. So we try to facilitate. We try to help every part of Ohio out as being one chapter. We are broken up. I'm northeastern Ohio. We have guys in Southern Ohio. We have guys in Dayton, as you know, and then we have guys in Cleveland and throughout the state. So it's a little bit harder being a one state chapter, but the guys are freely to do what they want when it comes to planning events. They don't have to. They can just plan an event and then let us know what's going on, and we all show up.
Yeah, that is. I gotta say, it's refreshing when I heard that was kind of the way that things were running. It's refreshing to hear because of all the different chapters and the different places that I talk to guys from for the podcast, it's sad sometimes when I hear And I think this format, having the podcast, there are people sometimes that will reach out to me and ask me either, how do you feel about this, or have you heard about something like this? And so I do hear from time to time that there are some chapters whose leadership kind of poo-poos the idea, I guess, a little bit of letting their guys who are maybe spread out kind of find something and do something locally, because they feel that they can't fully support it as a chapter, and because they can't fully support it as a chapter because of distance or time or something else. So they're almost like, well, we just, if you do that as you, just by yourself. It's not the chapter that's doing it, and it's not. And I hate to hear that, because I've said this so many times. You don't have to have the entire chapter present to be able to do something to represent the chapter. And it's a shame when I hear.
Exactly.
It's a shame when you hear chapters that run that way, because I think it just kills that desire that guys have to want to
Yeah.
do something locally in their area, especially a one chapter state.
Yeah. And then and being Ohio is a big state, it's hard for, like the Cleveland guys to come down to Southern Ohio. That's a 2.5 hour drive, possibly 3 for them if they're driving from Cleveland down to, say, Chillicothe. But that is something I see myself as fundamental for our chapter in getting everybody involved. So you can do your charity event in your area. I've already told my guys I will show up to it. I don't care. I live in, like I said, probably about an hour and a half outside of Columbus. I'll drive. I have no problem in doing that. And we'll show up and we'll raise money and we'll do what we can.
Yeah. And I think one of the great things that spurs the effort for is that it lets guys understand that we don't have to plan some major event. We can actually do something really small. We can help out at some, homeless shelter or a soup kitchen or something like that one weekend. And it doesn't have to be our event. We can just go as Ohio Villains and go help out with this thing. And giving guys the freedom to know that they can do that, and that they don't have to be an officer to represent their chapter to do something like that. It's so freeing. And I think that also, not only is that a PR tool for you, but you may end up with some other people that hear about this and say, hey, what are these guys doing? What, very cool to be a part of this. Wouldn't it be? That's a cool thing. It's a cool thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's where I wanted, it's the direction we're going. So
no, it's definitely the right call for sure. I think it's, like I said, I just get it's a shame when I hear that, leadership of some chapters doesn't really want to push that and doesn't want to let guys have that freedom to do the things. So very, very cool. Well, hey, let's get into the big one for this coming 2 weekends from now. I'm looking forward to it. This is actually going to be not only my first time there, but it's going to be my first time, most likely. I haven't committed 100% yet, but this will be the first event that I've committed to coming. The question is, am I committed to participating in a beard competition in a category that is considered business beard? There's a chance that I may end up trimming back down to that.
Okay.
So that's not happened in quite some time. So I'm getting a little bit of pressure from the wife that my daughter's wedding's coming up, and she says I definitely need to be really trimmed up for that.
Okay.
And so I may do a trial run just to see if is this short enough, honey? Oh, you actually want me to go shorter? No, I'm not so sure. Yeah, so we'll see. But hey, let's get into it. May 4th. Actually, May 3rd, you're going to be doing some stuff there as meet and greet and whatnot. So let's start there and keep the ball rolling and tell us all about it.
Well, yep. May 3rd, meet and greet, 5 p.m. at Mo Harrigan's. Very informal, very, just hanging out, eating, having a couple beers, smoking some cigars out on the patio. That's just more to hang out, that's just more to, just to build that that brother relationship. So, now on the event day, it's a little more formal. 2 p.m. start. It'll last until about 6 p.m. That's for the beard competition and the raffles. It's just normal bearded villain type event. Very laid back. We're going to have a live DJ, of course. Dapper Jones is going to be the DJ there, which is great. He DJ'd last year, and then there's going to be live music afterwards. That's provided by the venue. So just a wonderful atmosphere. It's a tavern. It's an Irish tavern, which all of us love Irish taverns.
Yeah. So for anybody that's planning on coming or wanting to come, they need to be aware, because it's a tavern. I'm assuming no children. This is adult.
No,
only.
it's a restaurant. It's a restaurant too,
restaurant.
so children are allowed to be there.
Well,
yes,
there we go.
It's a full restaurant. Yeah,
that's awesome. Oh, and as I noticed, I just looked down at my little notes here. You do have actually a kids category. We'll get into your categories here in just a few minutes, but so that's awesome. I would have paid attention to that, I would have noticed, hey, you can't have a kids category if kids aren't allowed in the building. So,
right.
All right.
Now we want to try to make it kid friendly. We want to make it family friendly, kid friendly. So,
okay, perfect. So, let's get into some minutia, some details about the event. Starts at 2:00. I love the fact that that's an relatively early start time compared to a lot of events. It seems like almost all the events we go to, and I know the one that we host, it's 5, 6 o'clock it starts. But this is kind of nice. You don't have to wait all day for it, and you can just get up if you're there in town, or if you live nearby. You can wake up, and you don't have to wait all day for this thing to start up. So, but yeah, give us.
Plus,
a little
it gives a lot of hangout time afterwards.
That's true too. Yeah, you don't feel like you're rushed out the door. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So let's start off with typical. I know you have some beard. You have a beard competition. You have like beard categories that you've got set up for that.
Yeah. It's the basic type categories. We start off with freestyle. Then we have the full beard with styled stash. I know that's always a fun one with the guys around. And then we have, of course, the full beard 0 to 6. And then we have the full beard 6 to 12 and the full beard 12 plus. And of course, we have the kids category, the Whiskerina, and the Whaler goatee and chops. So we want to include everybody. So that's, so so we can try to get everybody in that wants to get in.
All right. I like this. This is interesting, the way that you guys have broken this down. How now, because I've not been to your event yet, do you guys find that there's a lot of people that have come in the past for the freestyle category? Because you do have several beard clubs in your area, so that's a target audience for you sometimes. But we just never had any.
We're actually pretty close. We're actually pretty close with a lot of the Ohio beard clubs, and so we do a lot of things together. So we go to their events, they come to our events. So we want to try to include everybody when it comes to that. Plus a lot of the guys that come are part of the national beard, the national beard competitions that they go out to those and stuff like that. So we want to make sure we get everybody involved that wants to be involved.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I just noticed, after I just went through this whole thing about I may come down, I may show up with the trimmed up beard, the shortest I've ever had it in a long, long time. But I realized I don't have to. It's 0 to 6. It's not 4 and under for you guys. So I can get by with another couple of weeks and not have to worry about shaving this thing down yet. So that's great. I think I'm right at 6 right now. So I'm golden. I just need to make it look all pretty, and then at least I can look like I'm in the right category. The last couple I've been in, it was I was in the up to 8-inch category.
Hear something funny?
Do what? Yeah.
And as long as I've been in Bearded Villains, I have never been in a competition.
Why is that?
Because I have more fun talking to people. I've just never been in a competition I don't know. It's just, I get into talking to people and stuff like that, and I'll forget and just have fun.
Man, that's too bad. You've got to get involved, man. You can still talk to people.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
All right. I'll peer
It
pressure
might
the
be
hell
that
out of you.
shyness too.
I'll peer pressure the hell out of you. We got to get you involved. Hey, you know what? I peer pressured Puzzle for long enough, and he finally I got him to finally go to his first and actually compete in his first competition, and now he does every single time. So we'll
Nice.
get you involved. That's for sure. It's and you know the funny thing is that every once in a while you go to one that where you feel like okay, maybe you see a prize or the trophies are really cool or something like that. So you really kind of want to, in the back of your mind, really win. But it's not, it is what it is. It's for charity. Most of the times you're doing it just for the fun of it. And yeah, I'm fully aware that 90% of the ones that I go into, I don't have a prayer in the world to place in, but I've been lucky sometimes with a few of them. So, but yeah. So, okay. So again, we got freestyle, we've got full beard, styled stash. Yeah. That category seems like it's one it's increased in its popularity the last like 1 or 2 years. I've noticed when I first came into being a bearded villain back in 2017, and I started going to a few of these competitions. That was one that unless you were going to a event that was either hosted by or participated by multiple beard clubs, it never is, at least in the bearded villain community, it didn't seem like that was the popular one, and that and freestyle. But it's really cool that you're doing both of them and that you have enough of the popularity down there to have that. So that's awesome. And then let's see, 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 and over, kids, whiskerina, and then all of grouped in together, whaler, goatee, and chops. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's gonna be a great combo.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask. Let's see the tough questions. Financials. What's the cost for everybody so we can prepare? You've got 2 weeks to find all your couch cushion money, people. So if you're debating and you don't think you can afford to go, it's not going to cost that much. It's not an arm and a leg, and you've got time to check your couch cushions.
There's no entry fee. There's no entry fee to the venue. It's $15 for the beard competition and $5 for each additional category. So we try to keep it straightforward. So.
All right. Hey, that works.
We don't want to overwork. I don't want to overwork Andy, my co-captain, too much. So.
All right. Now, just because I like to ask this, because who knows, there may be somebody that's unaware or that's not completely prepared that shows up and hears about it on the show here or is listening to it while they're on their way to the show or to the competition. Well, I've heard that sometimes. Is it cash only? Do you take multiple forms of payment there? What are the options for everybody?
It's going to be cash only, and there will be an ATM. So
smart. That's very beneficial.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple as possible. That's how I look at it.
All right. So is the rundown of the categories the one? Is that the way that the way that it's going to run in the competition from freestyle then to styled stash, 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 over, and then run through that way?
Yeah.
That's the order? Okay. So the only downside to that, and I'm not ragging on the way you're doing it, if in the eventuality that maybe you might have one person that wants to switch it up and say, I want to compete in 3 different categories, and I have a 14-inch beard, and I'm going to compete in the 12 and over, and then I'm going to go in the other room and shave it down, and then I'm going to compete in the 6 to 12, and I'm going to shave it down a little more, then I'm going to compete in the zeros. I've been to one competition
well, you put
where
some
I saw
thought into
somebody
that,
actually
VP.
do that. I went and I only say that because it's just labeled right perfectly for me as 0, 6, 6 to 12, 12 over. And I was looking at that, and when you mentioned the thought of somebody doing multiple categories, I thought I did go to one category, and he had promised some followers or to a beard comp. He had promised some followers or something. He raised some money for something, and he said if I get X number of dollars, I will compete in all 3 categories and shave it down to it. And I think for him, it was down to 4-inch. But yeah, that's pretty funny, but smart to do it this way. This way people aren't going to be drinking and then like have a crazy idea and then regret it later. And they walk out the door of the house with the 14-inch beard and then they arrive back home with a 4-inch beard. Smart. Well, I know you guys have some heavy hitters on the deck for judges too. Can you talk for a minute about who the
Yeah.
judges are for you?
Sue, and that I did not write down.
Oh, sorry.
So of course we have Shooter Johnson. He is with the Beard Mob, the Indiana Beard Mob. Everybody knows him. I'm pretty sure you probably know him too.
Yes.
He's going to be one of the judges. Mark Bynes is going to be another judge. He was a judge last year for us. Really, really cool guy. He's part of the national beard competition whole network thing going on there. We have Pocket Medic, which I can't remember his first name. That's his IG name. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
We have Forrest Friggins. I think
Okay.
that's his last name.
Awesome.
And then we have Lexi from Pennsylvania. She's going to be a judge. And I hope I didn't forget somebody.
No, I think you got all 5 of them.
Okay,
Yep.
that's it.
You labeled them off. That's great. Yeah, Mark's always a fun. I love seeing Mark. He's been a judge for us a few times, and when you talk about a full beard with a styled stash, man, talk about somebody who's he's won multiple national championships type of things and all that stuff. And so
and his knowledge of the competitions, if you sit down and talk with him, his knowledge of competitions is just phenomenal. I've learned so much from him just by talking with him.
Right. Yeah. And what I really love about the way that Mark approaches things as a judge, I've heard him have several conversations. I've overheard several conversations he's had with people at events that I've been to, and he talks to people about, that maybe are unsure about the quality of a beard or something like that. They don't like the way that there's look, and he's very reassuring, and he just knows how to talk to people and explain to people about, this. No, that's great, and he really takes pride in being a judge, not just because of the basics. He doesn't just look at it.
Yeah.
He knows a beard so well that I've seen him score people that you can tell he really put some thought into it, and he just didn't go, that's pretty. So I love it when I see him as a judge. Don't like it when I see him as a competitor, but thankfully I've never seen him on my. I know I have a couple of my guys on my chapter on in what his category would be, and so they see him walking in the door and they're just like, all right, well, best I can hope for second place.
That's why everybody gets them to judges now. We pull them in as judges so we can keep them out of the competitions.
Right? Yeah. He said he doesn't mind doing all the judging, but he says he likes to still compete a couple times a year, so he doesn't practice with it for sure. But awesome. Now, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, just briefly about who are we raising money for this weekend when we get down there?
Adopt a Pit. They are a 501(c) charity group out of Dayton, Ohio. So we try to pick somebody local. They specialize in bully dogs and rehabilitating them and getting them fostered out.
Very cool. All right. Any chance that you're probably in a food establishment? It's not probably the place where you can have any representatives with dogs there, probably.
Yeah, not this year. We did last year. Not this year, because of the venue. So,
and that makes sense. I'm sure there's probably some rules against food and having animals inside. So, but that's great.
Yeah.
What's a very, very worthwhile cause for sure. Now I had one last. Now I can't even remember what question I was going to ask you last thing, but are you going to be doing anything else to raise money? Are you going to have any like raffles or any kind of auction items, things like that?
Yes, we're going to be doing the auctions, of course, and the 50/50 raffle. And I've been collecting things throughout the last few months. So if you are listening to this and you would like to donate items, get a hold of me or get a hold of BP. We'll be more than happy to help you out. It is going to a good cause. So we would appreciate anything that you have that you would like to donate that you think that would help raise money to Adopt a Pit. All the money goes to the charity 100%. We don't keep anything back. We also donate some of the money that we've collected through our merchandise to the charity event.
All right. Very cool. That sounds awesome. I know. Do you have anything that you can tease a little bit? Maybe not necessarily show us a picture of or show us, but anything that you can kind of hint around or tease for people if they're just to kind of wet people's whistles about what might be available at the for prizes or auctions or anything like that?
I mean, I
I know.
could
I
show
just
you
happened to.
one thing I have.
I just asked you off the top of my head.
I
I
could
didn't even
show
tell
you
you
one
that.
thing I have. I have two of these. So one of them was made for Best in Show. The other one is going to be auctioned off. So I actually have two of these items. So this is going to be for the Best in Show. So of course, going with the whole Beardo de Mayo, being on Cinco de Mayo, we always want to celebrate. That's how the whole thing started. So this is going to be this year's Best in Show trophy.
All right. That thing is so cool. That is so well done. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What a very
This
cool.
was made by Thaba Boggs out of Indiana. It's hand painted. Everything she did by hand.
Man. That
So
is
that's going
awesome.
along with our theme of the skull, the candy skull, being the Best in Show trophy.
Very cool. That's going to be an awesome one, man. I know I won't be winning it, but it'll be fun to see it. And you have another one, so maybe there's a chance for prizes and auctions and stuff for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
that one, the other one she hadn't painted also, that's going to be auctioned off.
All right. There we go. You have a chance. Folks. All right. Well, hey, I'm looking forward to it. We're just over 2 weeks out, 2 weeks and 1 day, I guess technically we'll say. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. And yeah, just do what you got to do to keep getting ready for it, and then just coast and just relax and have fun with it. So, like I say, it's gonna be a great time. Man, Jesse, I appreciate you, and thanks so much for coming on the show. And I'll see you.
Thanks for having me on.
I'll see you in just a couple weeks, man.
All right, sounds good. I can't wait.
All right, talk to you soon. Thanks again. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Hey, all right. Thank you so much, Jesse. That was a lot of fun talking with you about that. That's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a really fun time. And that skull is very well done. Thaba, you did an awesome job. I don't think you're a listener or a watcher of the show, but hey, if somebody does talk to her, tell her fantastic work. That looks just incredible. And congratulations on a beautiful, beautiful donated item. I know that our chapter here, Northern Indiana, is planning on bringing a thing or two or something for the raffle or auction, whatever you can use it for. So definitely. But yeah, if you're going to Beardo de Mayo, hey, grab a patch or two, grab a hat, grab a t-shirt, grab something. If you have time, it's only a couple weeks now, so you may not have time. Depending on what you do for your chapter, as far as your merch store, if you have a merch store that can create things, that you can build things and ship things out like within the next day or two, and they can make them like on spec. Hey, maybe you want to get have a special shirt or something made up for Beardo de Mayo, and a special hat or something like that. That's like a one-off thing. That's the new thing to do. That's always fun when you can create something like that and send it off. I don't know, only a couple weeks out. I don't know if anybody's going to really have time to do that now, but something definitely to think about for the future for sure. But yeah, hey, I got something I need to read. I need to read here. So let's do that real quick. Whether you're navigating the rugged terrain or the great outdoors or conquering the concrete jungle of the urban landscape, Bigfoot Beard Company has you covered. Bigfoot Beard products are made of natural ingredients designed to help maintain a rich, healthy beard without leaving it feeling greasy or heavy. From classic cologne-inspired fragrances to fruity notes and earthy tones, there's sure to be a scent for every occasion. With the worldwide shipping that is available, why not take the opportunity to walk on the wild side? Head over to BigfootBeardCo.com. That's www.bigfootbeardco.com today and grab all of the Bigfoot beard products. That's where you need to go. All right, guys. That's awesome. I overextended my music. I'll have to change that for next time. But all right, Bigfoot, right here, Bigfoot. I prefer the spiced cherry beard butter right now. That's my jam. That's my jam. But anyway, Bigfoot's got some good stuff. I love the fluff too, the beard fluff. Anyway, that's for another day. That's for another time. Guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. It's awesome to see you on a Thursday night having some great conversations, seeing some faces and some people that I don't see on an every week occurrence. Tell your friends, tell everybody to come hang out with us on the Thursday or Friday night. I try to let you know in advance whether it's going to be on Thursday or Friday, but sometimes I just don't know how things are going to go. So just stay on your toes. I'll try to do better about giving everybody a heads up in advance of when things are, but not sometimes. Hey, things happen, and I can't stay up on that, and I do apologize. I have to do better, and I will do better. But hey, for now, you know what? That's going to wrap up episode 212 of this here show. I want to challenge all you guys, as I always do every week, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Most important words I say every week, guys. Remember them well. It's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. But that means you need to do the work and you need to talk to somebody. Don't just leave it at that. Hey, guys, until next week for episode 213, I will see you back here next week for that. Until then, take care and stay safe.
Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro. Lights, camera, action.